So I can in fact confirm there are Dukes at Ross. And hello everybody, thank you all so very much for joining me today. This is the G.I. Joe Classified Series Duke and Ram Cycle. As I said before, I got this at Ross for $10. And that's such a good deal, in fact, that I just couldn't help myself. And I bought another one. So I have two of these now. I actually have a third one coming, thanks to my very good friend Peachy Waffles on TikTok. Thank you all. Thank you so very much for sending that to me. I can't wait to get that one as well. So I would have three of these Ram cycles. But looking at the packaging here really quick, you can see Duke on the cover here. The art is really nice. I don't know who did this cover, but whoever did it is fantastic at drawing motion. There's a lot of fluidity to this piece. I love the fact you can see the barrels on the minigun spinning, the speed lines, the exploding his tank in the background, Duke on the bike as well. It just looks really good. There's the Tiger Force Duke in the corner there, which is a product render, classified logo. On the side here, you can see a very nice piece of Duke, which is a little hard to see because this box is very long and my recording station is not as long as this box is. But there are the product renders on the side here, on there, everything that comes with the figure on this side, as well as the dimensions. Here it's number 40. As you can see, he is is that a rook? I don't know if that's a rook. I think it's a rook. Parachute. Bullets. He loves America. Don't know what those are. They still keep doing them. Don't know what those mean. Anyways, let's get this open. And here is Duke, as well as his Ram cycle on the spinny base, and I love this so very much. I think it's so fun. I was a big fan of Tiger Force. I thought it was a really fun subline. I've always been a fan of those lines, you know, Night Force, Tiger Force, Python Patrol, all of those other ones, and I would love to see more of them. Slaughter's Marauders being one of them. We so far only have one of those, and it's Barbecue, but I'd love to see more from them. But this is really good, and I really like this because, especially now that you can pick this up at Ross, it makes this really easy to make army builders for bikes. Because, you know, back in the day, early G.I. Joe, you used to be able to get Joes and vehicles fairly cheap. That was one of the big selling points, was that you could get the vehicles for your Joes. It's not so easy now to get vehicles. Now we get them in a HasLab or an expensive pack with a bike and a character. But doing this, you know, you have some leftover Dukes. That's fine, whatever. It's fodder for custom if you want to do that, or you can sell it for $5. Who cares? But now you have all these extra bikes, and you can do so much fun with this. Like, for instance, sticking Recondo on one, specifically Tiger Force Recondo. And whenever I get my third one, I'd like to get maybe Bazooka or Dusty or something, put him on that, so I have a full trio of people on the Tiger Force bikes. And I really like that this thing that you can do now fairly cheaply, at least here in the States. But even so, considering the fact that they're so cheap now, people are going to be selling them for even cheaper. But moving the bike aside momentarily, taking Duke off the base so we can get a closer look at him, you can see that this is pretty much exactly the same as the original classified release, which I unfortunately do not have, but now I have this Duke, which is fine by me. It's pretty much the exact same figure except for the obvious Tiger Force repaint, same body, everything, head, whatever. But I really like it. I think it's good. And now that I have two Dukes, what I'd like to do is I'd like to try and repaint the other one that I have and do a more classic looking Duke design, at least until I get the new one. But I really like the drab olive color that they went for in the vest here, as well as the darker orange on the pants, which is very accurate to the original Tiger Force design, alongside the red suit, red shirt inside, as well as the white tank top, the bandolier here, the belt, the backpack, very accurate. All of it same color, actually, backpack. So it's pretty much dead on, except for the fact that the original Duke had brown hair as opposed to blonde hair in that release. Don't know why. Maybe it was just feeling special that day, wanted to try something new. But still, this is basically a pretty much one-to-one adaptation of that, just in the modern day. I really like the fact he has all these spare pouches. He has a holster on his side. One thing I don't like is, maybe it's just me, but the way the boots line up, they look inaccurate. They don't look right. Like, I can't move the feet here to move the angle, and I can't move the shin guards because the feet come with it. So they just have to sit at this odd angle, and it just, I don't know, it just doesn't look right. Maybe it's just me, maybe just my figure that's like that. But hey, you know, the rest of the figure's pretty fine. Some nice pockets here on both sides of the pants. This one's hidden by the belt, by the bandolier for the pistol, actually. belts here, solid glove, same color as the rest of his sleeve, that drab olive. He has a removable set of binoculars in the back here, which pick into this little hole right here, which we will look at later when we look at the accessories. But the backpack looks really good. I love the shovel here, the both of the canteens. The articulation on this is fairly standard, especially for early G.I. Joe Class 5 releases. You know, heads on a ball joint, can look down that far, can look up that far. The joint on this one is very tight, makes it hard to get into right angles. But there is a dumbbell joint here at the bottom of the neck as well, so you get a lot of motion there, a lot of motion. He has an ab crunch that goes this far forward, ab crunch that goes this far back. Even with the backpack on, he can still move that far back. There are butterfly joints here at the biceps, which go forward and back a little far, and just enough to use some better motion. The bicep goes up that far, rotation here at the other lower bicep joint. There is a double jointed elbow here. This is not pinless, there's pins in there. The right hand has a side to side hinge, as you can see right there. Meanwhile, move this off momentarily. The left side has a up and down hinge, which you'd think would be better for aiming. So I guess Duke in this version is a lefty. Who knew? There is a dumbbell joint here at the waist as well, so you get a lot of motion, like a heavy amount of motion that is unfortunately kind of blocked off by the belt here, but you can finagle that and move it, so on and so forth. There are drop down hips here, as per usual, which, you know, if you like him, you like him. If you don't like him, you don't like him. I get it, it's fine. There's a swivel here at the upper thigh, so you can get a full rotation there. There are, of course, double jointed knees that have a nice click to them. They go down that far. There's a swivel here at the calf as well, as we saw. And there's a swivel, a side to side, and a forward-facing pin for the rocker of the feet. Feet only go so far forward, unfortunately. But hey, you know, the shin guards get in the way. I get it. This is also removable. I don't know if I will be removing it, but it is removable, FYI. So yeah, there is your Tiger Force Duke. And he will fall forward. Of course he will. Now, as for accessories, there aren't as many as some other ones, but the ones he does have actually do make quite a decent amount of sense. There is, of course, his backpack, which is the most detailed, as it has paint application on it. He has a military-issue shovel, which actually looks quite similar to the one that my grandfather had from when he served. This looks like this would, you know, be able to swivel, so you could fold it back or fold it forward, depending on what you needed to do. There are two canteens on either side. It appears to be pretty much the exact same either side, except for, you know, some sculpted differences. Bang on the side here, whole bunch of pouches, a nice drab olive green that matches with the shirt, so it fits pretty well. There is his pistol, of course, which is pretty much just what looks like some sort of Nerf pistol. I'm fairly certain the same comes with Baroness, but yeah, this is the pistol that he comes with. He has his rifle, which is actually a Stalker's rifle originally that was given to Duke in the Tiger Force line, and so they gave it to him here, which only makes sense, of course, even if I think the gun does look a bit stupid. It's not the best gun, but hey, you know, the mold is really nice. It's meant to be some sort of grease gun, a very stylized version of that, but overall it's nice. And of course you can remove the magazine and place it back in, if I can. There we go. And these are his binoculars that he comes with. Maybe my favorite accessory of all the weapons and stuff he has. I'm just a sucker for these little tiny, like little in-universe things, especially if it pegs onto the belt like this does. It's very nice. You can actually see all the various camera lenses on here. There's a bit of a swivel, like sort of a hinge there where his eyes would go in. It's really nice, and it does actually fit into his hands fairly easily. So yeah, those are the smaller accessories that he comes with. And this is the main accessory. This is the biggest accessory that a figure could come with, and it is the Tiger Force Ram Cycle. And it is very accurate to the legitimate Ram Cycle from the original Tiger Force line, which I unfortunately do not have the original Ram Cycle from this toy line. I don't have the one that came with Breaker. I'd love to get it someday, but as of right now, I don't have it. But this looks really good. I really, really like it. I'm very glad that I have one, two actually, soon to be three. But I think it looks really good. I love the color scheme. I love the white fading to the orange to the yellow. I love the tiger stripe pattern. I love the angry, like, monster face that it has on it. Very dragonfly-esque, or I guess in this iteration it'd be the tiger fly. I like the minigun on the side, even if it is a bright red target. I really think it's really fun. There is not much in terms of I guess you'd call it articulation for a bicycle. You can turn the wheel, the front wheel, side to side, and there is a situation on here where the handlebar, you can kind of move it. That's on both of my bikes. I don't know if that's like some sort of manufacturing error or if it's meant to be there. If it's meant to be there, please let me know. I'd love to know why. There is, of course, the speedometer on here. There's the gas cap there, the seat and everything. There is an American flag here, which I don't know if it's tattered or not intentionally, but I think if it is, it looks pretty good. Even if it isn't meant to be, I kind of like that. It adds a little more ruggedness, a little realness to it. The Tiger Force logo there. GI Joe MG 1027. I might change that on a couple of mine. Add like 1028 or 1029 or whatever. The minigun here is removable, and if you do remove it as well as the cart, the bike will fall over fairly easily without the kickstand, which is at the bottom here, which you have to pull out like so, and the bike will stand upright. Now, the cart here is just one wheel and a box for this. There's two pegs right here, but what you do if you want to get it out is you can open it up like so, take both these sides out, move them over here, and now you have your minigun, your Tiger Force minigun. Which is originally a mold that I believe came with, was it Roadblock? I think it came with Roadblock first before it came with Gung Ho. Or not Gung Ho, Breaker, my bad. Tiger Force logo there, of course, handle on both sides. The barrel does spin, which is a fun touch. And there are also peg holes in here, which you can use to put the blast effect ports if you have any from the Steel Brigade or the new, oh god, what is it? The Valkyries, which are the Cobra equivalents. So yeah, you can do that with this, as well as if you want to grab maybe one of your bigger Joes, say for instance Gung Ho, who is so big he takes up almost all the screen, and try and put it in his hand here. If you want to do that, if I can get and bring him back, and you can have Gung Ho wielding the minigun, which honestly looks pretty cool. I don't know how I feel about the bright red, but hey, it looks really cool. I'm a big fan of that. And like I said before, I don't have the original Ram cycle to compare, but what I do have is the Rider's Wave motorcycle, specifically the Punisher one that I have modified ever so slightly to be more Ghost Ridery. And I think it's really fun that you can have these two same scale to side by side together, especially with the very obvious design differences between what is more of a kind of an 80s Ducati, sort of import bike compared to a very classic American muscle bike, like a chopper. It's really fun seeing those two side by side. Now, as for regular figure comparison, we have Duke next to one of the twins, either Tomaz or Zammot. He's missing the scar. I can't remember if that means he's Tomaz or Zammot, but if you do, let me know in the comments below. Here he is next to my most recent review of, here he is next to my most recent review of Lady J, and they scale pretty accurately together. He would be a little taller, so that's pretty dead on. Here he is next to the man whose gun he stole, Sergeant Stalker. And I love the variance between all the different shades of greens that we have. A lot of very nice colors, and I really like the way Stalker looks. Stalker might be one of my favorite figures of the Classified line, maybe my absolute favorite. But he looks really good next to this Duke. And like I said, I did in fact get two of these, so here he is next to Recondo, also on one of the Tiger Force Rams. And man, that looks really cool. I won't lie, that looks really cool. I'm a big sucker for this. That looks really rad. And so there is your Tiger Force Duke and his Ram Cycle. I really like this figure. I'm a big fan. I think he's really fun, and I can't help but doing this with the bike, moving it side to side. It's in me to want to do that with a bicycle or a motorbike. I kept saying bicycle in this review. I don't know why I did. It's a bike. It's a bike, and it's really cool. And I'm really glad that I have two. Should be three. Again, thank you so very much, Peachy, for sending me one. It means a lot. Please, everyone, go follow her on TikTok if you have one. Peachy Waffles. It'll be on the screen in front of you, and it'll be in the description down below. So yeah, thank you so very much for taking the end of this. If you'd like to see what else comes out next, please subscribe. Comment below what else you'd like to see. If you want more G.I. Joe, because I'll keep doing G.I. Joe, so I will obviously say yes to that request. So yeah, please like, comment, subscribe, everything you gotta do to make sure this channel keeps growing. Thank you all so very much for sticking into this, and please have a great day.